Hello everyone and welcome to the video. So if you've not been here before, my name is Zoe and I'm a mixed media artist and illustrator here on YouTube. And if you have been here with me before, welcome back. So today's video I'm going to be doing a double page spread in my sketchbook using the COPIC ACREA markers. So if you don't know what these are, they are COPIC's first acrylic marker. They've been on YouTube quite a lot recently and on social media. I know they came with a scrawler box a while ago as well. So I thought I would get some and show you them in a video. So this is not a review and they are not the only supplier that you will see me use, but I've decided to kind of feature them heavily. So just starting off with them, I swatched them. There's 24 colours, that's the entire set, and I bought 4 packs to get that because they were on sale, and I also got a discount through my job. So I think I can't remember off the top of my head, I didn't pay very much for them, which is good. Well, certainly not as much as they actually retail at. You can buy an entire set for about £100, but these separates I think retail at £29, so that's quite a lot of money. But no, I got them a lot cheaper than that. And it is my proceeds from my YouTube channel that go into buying these supplies to show you. So, like I said, this is not a review, but I will give you my opinion on them. I'm just not going to put them through like the major testing or anything. But I just wanted to try them. And I wanted to use them along with other art supplies because I do like to mix them. I am a mixed media artist. So for this piece, I decided after watching Squid Game Season 2, by the way, there's not going to be any major, at least, Squid Game spoilers in this video, so you are safe. So I'm not really going to talk about Squid Game, but I have just watched Season 2, I really like it, and if you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it. But I wanted to do a double page spread. I'm sure you will kind of recognise this image even if you haven't seen the show. It is a version of the doll from a game within the show. So as you can see, I've started off here with a hoo-hoo markers, just laying down like a base layer of colour. I did this for all of her. Her name, so she's like this animatronic doll. Her name is Young Hee. Now, apparently Young Hee is a character from like children's educational material in Korea. And yeah, they use her in the TV show. So that I thought that was quite interesting. I've been watching a lot of videos actually explaining things from Squid Game recently. So yeah, that's where I got that from. But yeah, this is Young Hee, and yeah, she's like a educational thing. So I did start off putting like a lot of this. It looks quite messy to begin with, but it kind of fades in as I put more on. But I blocked in a lot of stuff with the markers, just putting down these base layers of colour, which I will work into a bit later. Once I finished blocking Young Hee in with the markers, I started using the alcohol markers on her. And then I came back later on to use alcohol markers in the background. I originally, when I was planning this piece, I was going to just use the alcohol markers with fine liners and the Copic ACREA, but it was apparent quite early on that the Copic paint markers, I mean, they're fantastic, don't get me wrong, but they are a very small nib, and they aren't great for covering areas, not even small areas really. I will probably be keeping them for like detail work. They're certainly like some of the Posca markers in the smaller ones, I think not the 1M, which I find a bit scratchy and it splutters a lot, but the 1MR, although tiny, can cover like decent sized areas quite quickly. But I found the way the nib is with these ones, it is similar to the Posca 1M, so they're not ideal for covering large areas. And yeah, so I kind of tried to do that with this and then realised it wasn't really working, and I switched to covering the large areas with my Artex brush acrylic markers, which, by the way, they work really great together. Had no problem layering the Copic over the Artex, so that's really good. I have a lot of paint markers in my collection, ranging from Poscas to the Artex ones. I've got some Molitor markers. I can't think what else off the top of my head. I've got several brands anyway, and I do like to use them all. So it's really great when you get supplies that aren't the same brand that still work together. So that's a real good bonus on that, because actually with a lot of paint markers, not too many of the brands that I've used at least do the smaller nibs. So it's quite hard to get more precise work done with them. So it's great to be able to have like these ones to do that with. I do have small nibs in the Poscas, but I'm actually phasing my Poscas out. I don't really plan on renewing them at this time, at least, as they run out. So as these pens run out, I will just be recycling the pen and not replacing them, because I want to expand my collection eventually of the Artex markers. But anyway, I thought I might at some point use some colour pencil for this, but I didn't. It was drawn in a mechanical blue pencil, which I actually did before I filmed. I drew it the night before. And I didn't, to be honest, it probably notices, but I didn't use a reference. I just sat and sketched it in front of the telly. I wanted her... So the reason I didn't use a reference is because if you are aware of the figure, you can tell she's quite rigid. You know, this is not a human character, so I didn't want her to look like she had any sort of natural movement to her or anything like that. I wanted her to look rigid because she is essentially a great big plastic statue. But yeah, this was... so obviously what I will say, I used my Tombow brush liner in the hard nib to do like these details. I don't really like the lips there, and I do change that later on. I tried to give it like a heart-shaped lips, but I don't think they worked out overly well there. But I do sort of correct this with the Copic paint markers in a bit. I didn't really notice with the hair that I was struggling to fill the large area, but I was purposely trying to leave gaps, so you can see some of the alcohol marker underneath. So that's probably why, because I wasn't trying to do like a block colour that was like a large area. But yeah, I mean, these pens, they're really nice. They're really, I tell you what, actually, they are probably the most opaque paint markers that I've used, from the colours I've used at least. I had no problems putting any of the colours over the top of other colours. That said, I didn't try and put like yellow over black or anything like that, but there are... So later on there's some text on this piece, and I outline the text with black and then decide I don't want it to be so harsh, so I go back over it with an indigo marker, covered absolutely no problem. And then with the same text, there were bits where I had kind of not got the line quite right because I was trying to do it quite quickly, so I could go back over with the colour that was in the writing and cover it like one pass. So I was really, really pleased with that. They're certainly more opaque than, say, a Posca or the Artex markers, and they're pretty decent anyway, so I think that's a really good plus point. And given that fact on the Copics, I really do wish that in future they would consider bringing out... I don't think you need a bigger colour selection as such. I mean, 24 for what I'm going to use them was fine. It will be nice if they do bring out more colours, but a bigger nib size would do. That's what I would think I would be happy with, because they are so opaque, but you can't really cover up big areas with them because you just take so long doing it, and there's probably not too much paint in these pens. I think I seem to remember reading something there might be about 6ml of paint. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's not going to be a huge amount. They are not big pens. But yeah, I mean, I originally was quite resistant to buying these. They're very expensive, but actually I'm well, for a start, I'm happy that they were on sale, and then I got extra money off of them. I think I actually paid like £4 something for them out of my own money. They didn't cost me that. Like I had to put that towards some YouTube money. I think they were like slightly shy of £70 after the sale price and the percentage I got off of them, which was like 15 or 20%. I can't really quite remember. But yeah, it was a really good deal, and I was more than happy to have paid that for them. I think though, if I had have just gone and bought them and bought full price, I think I would have actually still been quite pleased, because their performance is outstanding. As you can see here, I actually fixed the lips, and then I was going to go back in and do the black outline again, but then I actually decided I quite liked it like that, so I left those lips. But I really do like how the face turned out on this doll. Yeah, so you'll see in a minute, I'm about to start using some of the Artex pens, just to cover up the larger areas. So I think you can see here in comparison that these Artex markers fill in areas very quickly. You can also see that they are not as opaque as the Copic pens, but I mean, for what I'm using them for, I don't really, I do quite like to see a little bit of hint of drawing underneath, which is fine. And to be honest, if I wanted to get rid of that, I think a second coat would completely hide that slight pencil line you can see around the waist. To be honest, it was kind of supposed to be there anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so here just drawing in, you can definitely see at this point that this is a doll. Those are the ball jointed arms. If you aren't aware of what this doll does, it basically turns around. It plays a version of hide and seek. I think that's the best way of describing what this doll does without actually telling you what it does. It's not hide and seek, but I mean, anybody that has seen Squid Game will know what I mean when I say that. I think I'm kind of coming towards the end of this doll now, so I will let you watch the rest of her, and we will come back for a chat during the background. Okay, so you can see me starting to block in the background and block out, or block in. Well, I'm blocking in around the text. So here what I'm doing is I'm using it's actually two shades. There's like a greeny blue and a blue. I know this is PB, is it PB1? I can't remember the shade this blue is. And I'm going to do like a gradient to the bottom, and this will actually, so this is the second page that you won't have seen yet. You can see it's the page to the left. I do carry this background to behind the doll as well. But yeah, it's just like blending the markers. I spent quite a long time going over this blend to get it as smooth as possible. So, I mean, you see I finished it there. It is it's not as smooth as I could have got it to be, but I plan on drawing over the background some more. So I didn't see the point in spending too much time getting it absolutely perfect, but that will do. And I'm going to block those letters in with the Copic paint markers in a second. But yeah, I just wanted to, without giving anything away about Squid Game, I just wanted to talk about why I enjoy it so much. I really enjoyed watching, there's I think it's Korean, a Korean film called Battle Royale. I really enjoyed that when I saw that, and I really liked the Hunger Games. I do like this gritty horror thriller type thing. I mean, Squid Game is not for the faint-hearted. It is quite graphic, but actually, it kind of, I don't know how to explain myself. I find it plays into what I kind of like to watch theme-wise anyway. Make of that what you will. I enjoy the concept. Let's just say I do enjoy the concept. But actually, a lot of what I love about Squid Game is its artistic direction. Artistically, this programme is fantastic, from the design of the sets to the use of colour in every single scene. And it's... So what I've kind of learned from watching videos explaining Squid Game after actually watching it, it's actually worth going back and watching it again, because once you've seen, I'd say, both seasons, there's so many things, even down to the use of colour, that make much more sense if you watch it again. Things that you would absolutely overlook the first time round, but from watching it, like, it's the same colours used throughout, no matter what the set is. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm trying desperately not to give too much away, but it is such a well-written, well-designed program. It's just fantastic, and I really wanted to make some proper artwork for it, which is why I went with this theme. And I do think I'm going to try and do some more fan art for Squid Game, because I mean, fan art's great for like filling sketchbook pages and stuff. I've got a few ideas of what I want to do in the sketchbook, so yeah, it'll be some fan art and some, I think I'm probably going to do some animals and stuff, because I don't really draw animals, so I want to get into that as well. But yeah, that's mainly why I like the programme anyway, is like the concept of it, but the styling. Artistically, it's a fantastic looking TV show. The use of colour is not accidental, I don't think, in any one of those scenes. So yeah, it's a really interesting watch, I feel, as someone that is into art. So definitely, if you are not of the faint of heart, then definitely check it out, because it is, if anything, even if you don't like the show itself, it is an absolute treat on the eyes. I just feel like the show's an artwork in its own right. So going back to the actual artwork itself, I'm just putting in these stars. I'm filling in as much as possible. This is the Artex brush marker again. I had to do 2 layers on these. I really messed that star up. I had to go back to it a couple of times in the top corner there. Yeah, I've not done stars like starbursts like this before. They're not my usual star shape that I draw, but I kind of wanted to do that for more impact. I may put another one in. So, oh yeah, and then I changed the colour because I thought I think they were the same colour, because I did a Young He shirt in the Copic markers and it was really patchy, so I went back in with a similar colour for the Artex, but it was too similar to then have that yellow on the background, so I went in with like a more mustardy yellow. So here's what I was talking about earlier when I went around in black. I did it and I was like, it definitely needs an outline. But yeah, the black was too harsh, so I don't think I went over it on camera, but it is outlined twice. But I purposely left some of the black poking, like I wasn't like too anal about putting the colours back in, put the outline back in, sorry. I made sure, like, if you could still see areas of black, they would be small, but that was fine. I didn't mind that so much. At the end of the day, I don't want something to look like a computer has made it. But there you can see the blue outline now, so I did actually do that off camera. And I'm not sure if you can see, but that E's got a really thick line there. When I was saying about the layering, I came back in, I think that's layered now, yeah, the red's layered over it. I came back in with the red and went over it, so it thins that outline out. Yeah, and just doing some finishing touches now, some more stars in the background. I wanted it to look busy. I wanted it to kind of look like a very childlike poster almost. So yeah, the way the doll looks, the way everything looks is kind of designed that way to give it a certain look. But yeah, that is that piece. I'm about to run out of video. I've spoken through much more than I thought I would, but I do hope you enjoyed the video. I think these I haven't really said Posca. The Copic paint markers are fantastic, but they are not necessary, so don't feel like you have to get them. They are quite pricey, but if you do want them and you can afford them, I definitely recommend them. I think they're great. I will be using them in a lot more artwork. And yeah, check out Squid Game. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come say hi in the comments. Let me know if you've seen Squid Game and what you think of it. And I will see you next time.